Hi, it's me again, Dave Yeomans, and I'm a Course in Miracles student, as you know from the other video, and I've been troubled for a number of years by Christians that I meet that keep quoting to me that Jesus said, "I am the truth, the light and the way." And I remember 20 years ago reading a book by a Zen teacher called Suzuki, and he said that in his experience some people used their religion as a sharp point to keep people away. You know, I am a believer of the truth, so I can't be friends with you because you don't believe the truth. And this never really sat very well with me, because the "I am the truth, the light and the way" seemed to be a definitive statement that excludes Christians from having much to do with anybody, except from a superior standpoint where they look down on and say, well, we follow the truth but you don't. Now, Suzuki gave one of his talks on his style of Buddhism. He was a Zen Buddhist, and he mentioned the different types of Buddhism from different traditions, the Shinto Buddhists and the Zen Buddhists, and this is really not my field of expertise, but I'm assured there are different schools. And he said that in his school they believed that what they did was the best kind of practice, it was the true Buddhism. And he said, but in the other schools they believe that what they practice is the true Buddhism. And then he went on to say, but strictly speaking, Lord Buddha followed the truth. It was the truth that revealed the Buddhist practice. So I met somebody last week, and she told me that she was a Christian fundamentalist and that the only way to God was through Jesus Christ. And it made me think about the parable of the Good Samaritan. Clearly Jesus was not saying that you had to be a member of the chosen race. In those days the chosen race was the Jews, and they thought the Samaritans were kind of rubbish, so they didn't like them and they wouldn't let them in the temples. And Jesus told a story which in its day it was a revolutionary story. He was saying that these are human beings, you know, they are like us. And of course he didn't make himself very popular by saying that to the people that believed that they got it right and everybody else had got it wrong. And then there was a case where he was at a well, I believe, and a Sumerian woman was drawing water, and he asked her for some water, and she was surprised that he would receive water from an unclean person who was not a true Jew, but he received it. So these teachings that I've learned through my Christian upbringing have made me think that there's something very odd about the statement, you cannot come to God except through Jesus Christ. And so I started to pray, and I asked for an answer that would make my brothers on the planet no different from me. So whether we talk about Buddhists, Hindus, Sikhs, Muslims, Jainists, Jews, whatever denomination, we're all one people. I think that is the Christian message. And I woke up one morning, yesterday in fact, and the Holy Spirit had explained something to me in my dreams, and I do think we get messages through dreams, and he explained that what Jesus said was actually a tautology. Now, a tautology is a way of defining something. So I could say, I've had a great idea, I've realised that unmarried men are bachelors. It sounds like I'm saying something that's very profound, but it's a kind of a definition. It's a sort of a truism. Now, before I go any further, I have complete respect for Jesus Christ. He inspired the Course in Miracles, and he happens to be my favourite teacher. But I don't believe he wanted me to look down on anybody else's teachings. So, I woke up and I realised that, and I've written it down, I am the truth, the light and the way. But it's, if you take the I am part, I am equals me. Then he goes on to say, you cannot come to the Father except through me. So when I was at school, we used to do simultaneous equations, and the way to resolve them was to substitute a definition. So if we rewrite it then as, therefore, me equals the truth, the light and the way, it then goes on to say, therefore you cannot come to the Father except through the truth, the light and the way. Now, since God is the author, God created the truth, he actually created the universe that we base ideas of truth on, anyone following the truth will find their way to God, whichever religion they follow. So I believe sincerely that Lord Buddha followed the truth, as Shunryu Suzuki said, and he realised his divine nature, he realised his divine connection. And Jesus Christ was another teacher, and he realised the truth. He realised that the truth came from the Father, and the light of the Father is what attracts the sun. So by following the light, which brings joy and happiness and inspiration, we inevitably rise above the animal condition and realise that we're more than just pieces of meat. Now, I'm quite concerned that we have a very funny situation in the world where fundamentalists seem to take the view that everybody else will be okay if they abandon what they believe and join in with what the fundamentalists believe. And in the Course in Miracles, they refer to the devil, or Satan, they refer to it as the ego. Now, I can see that the ego, which thrives on separation, must thrive on people being divided by religions. So in other words, put simply, while ever a Jew hates a Muslim, and a Muslim hates a Hindu, and a Sikh hates a Christian or whatever, whichever person's doing this in the name of what they believe in, the devil is jumping up and down, clapping his hands, saying, well, I've got you there, I've used your religion against you. And I think it's only when we truly start to love our neighbour and to love our enemy that there's going to be any hope for the world. Now, you can't love what you don't accept. In fact, to love a person, to love a thing, to love a place, to love anything, you must accept it. If you don't accept it, you don't love it, because you don't accept it. You want to change it, and you can't love it if you want to change it. For world peace, I think we need to put these differences on one side. I think we need to find the message in all of these religions that says, hey, we're all one people, there's only one tribe on the planet, let's get together, let's make it better. That's my thought for today. Thank you. Namaste.